our journey towards justice with the climate and justice around so many aspects of our world. So I talked about some of our special guests who we have with us here today. And the first of those guests who we're going to hear from. We won't do a full introduction because we'll do that later after we hear from each of our spoken countries. But I will say a quick hello to Julie and her team who's joining us from UNESCO in Paris. Hello, Julie.
Hello, everyone. Can you see me? Yeah.
In just a second. So we're just sharing here. Once again, this is the Decarbonize, Decolonize. And we're going to bring you up. There we go, Julie. We have you as the Chief of Coordination for the team from ASP.NET. Hello, Julie.
Hello, Terry. Hello, Sarah. Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm Julie Saito. I'm the International Coordinator of the UNESCO Associated Schools Network. And I'm also with my couple of team members, Fuzia Belami. She's been normally contacting all the national coordinators. There are 182 national coordinators around the world. And we also have Katja Anger. She's also dealing with lots of climate change actions, and then we also have Eric Eschweiler. He is dealing with arts education. So we have lots of very interesting team colleagues that are inspired to do lots of actions around the world and to connect our projects with schools that are ready to collaborate and do things together with us. So let me start my presentation with maybe ask a hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we're gonna hold off a little bit before we jump into the presentation, and then we're gonna
sure.
In a second.
Okay.
Hello to Stephen Anderson, who has joined us from the Climate Change Office in the Canadian government. Hello, Stephen. Are you there? All right, so Stephen has joined us just recently and maybe is getting that audio set up. So we're going to hear from Stephen at the end of the presentation, and he's going to talk. We have Julia and her team that are talking about things from the global perspective and the school action perspective, and Stephen is going to share about some of the work that individual countries are doing from the national perspective. And so, Stephen, it's great to have you here. We will hear from you shortly. Now, what we are going to do is just to give us a sense of the fact that we're going to say a quick hello. We'll share a screen here in terms of the order of the program that we're going to be following, so we can see what we're going to be doing and following throughout the event. So we're going to put this up, and you can see that we have a welcome that's taken place. We're going to have very quick school introductions from each of our sites, and then we're going to be sharing from we're going to hear from Julie, who's going to say hello from UNESCO, and then we're going to have our school presentations that are going to go on. And then we're going to hear in closing from Stephen, who's going to join us from the Youth Network. So Julie, it looks like I got the order of that mixed up on my side. We're going to pass the microphone back to you and to your presentation. And we're going to hear from you and about the work that schools are doing, that UNESCO is doing, and get excited on both a local and an international basis. So Julie, back to you.
Thank you. I wonder if I can ask my colleague Katja to show the PowerPoint slide. Katja, can you, I wonder if you're not seeing our PowerPoint slide, do you?
I'm disabled to share my screen right now, so if colleagues in Canada could give me that, I could do that.
Okay, what may be easiest just for now is if we share the screen right from our side.
Okay, and then I'll ask you to move. Yeah.
That's perfect. Yep. Okay, excellent.
All right.
Your screen up here right away, Julie. Julie, you're joining us from Paris, and this is the head office. And your team is your whole team in Paris?
Well, yes, but because of the confinement, it started in mid-March. So since then, all of our colleagues are obliged to work from home. And so, for instance, Eric is back in Germany, and some of the colleagues are maybe in an outskirt of Paris and enjoying maybe some nature as well. But so basically, we have not been able to see each other face to face, but we're very much staying in touch, almost like every other day. And we've been releasing newsletters, been organizing a great international teachers and students and parents to be connected with us. So we've been doing lots of things. So we're staying very, very busy.
I can imagine. Well, great. So we have your presentation up here ready to go, Julie. You tell us when to move the slides forward, and we're looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
Great, thank you. So first of all, well, good morning and good evening. So as I said, my name is Julie Saito. I took up my post as the international coordinator of the UNESCO Associated Schools Network in February this year. So it's only 6 weeks before the lockdown. Prior to that, I was working for the Education for Sustainable Development section to mobilize youth leaders around the world, and to empower and mobilize and many young people like you. So I'm very happy to actually take up this post to connect our school activities with more environmentally aware projects. So it is a tremendous pleasure to be able to participate in your webinar today and discuss with you about the work you have been doing as part of the Decarbonize and Decolonize project. So thank you very much, Terry and Sarah, for inviting us, or the team, and providing us with this opportunity. So, well, let's move to the next slide, please. So I don't know if you've ever seen this. I would like to start my presentation with this quote. This is by the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, which I believe that this responds really well to our topic of discussion today, and to do what you all have been doing on and are responding to with the great work I'm eager to hear more about. So we all have a role to play in protecting our only home. Let's go to the next one. So, what he meant actually by this comment is that we all have a responsibility to respond to and to deal with these interdependent and interconnected challenges, starting with the climate disaster, but equally important are challenges related to inequalities, racism, conflicts, poverty, and health. They are challenges that reach beyond our national frontiers. They affect us all, every one of us living on this planet. And only together we can find solutions, and we should do it together. Let's move to the next one, please. I wonder, Terry, you can show this video. This is actually explained a little bit about UNESCO. We are founded, UNESCO was founded in 1945. So it's really just right after the Second World War. And so UNESCO stands for the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. And our mission is to build peace through international cooperation in education, the sciences and culture, and in the spirit that we develop in educational tools to help people live together. And also we work so that each child and citizen has access to quality education. We also promote cultural heritage and the equal dignity of all cultures. We also foster scientific programs and policies. And lastly, we stand up for freedom of expression. Through all these, we try to strengthen the bonds between countries and peoples. But let us show you this short video to give you a good idea of what we do. Terry, can you play this link from your side?
Absolutely. Okay.
I don't hear the sound. Do you?
Let's get through the sound in just a second.
If you want to stop sharing, I can try sharing.
Looks like we're having a bit of an issue here on the audio side. Julie, do you want to talk us through? I mean, we're seeing here talking about researchers, talking about.
Okay, yeah. So basically, I think even with this some text that shows up on the screen, you see that you could see from this video, effective and lasting solutions to global challenges require new forms of and cooperation. Hi, it's okay. I think the video is almost finishing with this showing the 17 Sustainable Development Goals that we all need to achieve together. And particularly because we work for the education sector, we believe that education has a very strong role to attain those goals through working together with teachers and students, and also even parents, to make sure that we provide the best teaching and learning environment to tackle these issues. So this is all this video is talking about our challenges. And in 2015, the United Nations took a significant step in this direction by committing to implementing 17 Sustainable Development Goals. We call it SDGs. By 2030, so that means only we have 10 more years to go. And 17 Sustainable Development Goals, we call it SDGs. By 2030, so that means only. Hello, can you hear? I think we were muted. I was muted for a while.
No, we had you there the whole time you were coming through, and our apologies on that audio there.
It's
not
okay.
Quite sure. We have
All
it
right.
queued up this one, so we'll have a good audio that's coming through again.
And
okay.
Good, no problem. And then you can show us maybe the 17, I mean the next slide. Yeah, I think that as you could see from the video, effective and lasting solutions to global challenges require new forms of global solidarity and cooperation. I don't know if you know that in these 17 SDGs, they were all decided at the United Nations General Assembly to take a significant step in this direction by committing to implementing these 17 SDGs by 2030. So we have only 10 more years to go. And you can understand them as a program of sustainable, universal, and ambitious development, a program of the people, by the people, and for the people. Through global cooperation, we work for a world without poverty, without hunger, where everyone has access to quality education, where we have access to clean water and sanitary facilities, where we work in decent conditions and produce and that will consume responsibility and sustainability. I mean, the consume responsibly and sustainably. Next slide, please. I think there are just maybe too many text, but just to say that what we do is to focus on, among the 17 SDGs, it's 4. It's concerning education, and particularly 4.7 we call it. It's to assure the quality of education, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education, and promote lifelong learning opportunities for us. So this is the key strategy that as an UNESCO, as also like a leading agency of this 4.7, and then ASP is also promoting this through school community. So we understand education as a basic human right and a force for sustainability and peace. And we support countries across the global and the globe and unleash its transformative power by focusing on the social, humanistic, and moral purposes of education. They are a vehicle to touching the heart, and when you touch the heart, ideas turn into action and bring about positive changes. Next one, please. And well, I think that we went through this already. I think I've talked about this earlier. I think we can skip. Sorry, I think I was not following. I'm sorry, one before that, please. Sorry, one before that. Yes. So again, back to ASP.NET, and you are at the center of our mission through the UNESCO Associated Schools Network, of which many of you are a part of. We aim to construct the defenses of peace in the midst of children and young people, of the minds of children and young people. In other words, our work focuses on empowering you to become change of agents, so you are able to respond to the challenges of our time with a view to overcoming exclusion and hate, prejudice and fear, violence and extremism, the destruction of the environment and climate change. And this has been our mission since 1953. ASP.NET, we call it, it's an abbreviation for Associated Schools Network, ASP.NET, working with all levels and types of education towards the values and principles enshrined in the UNESCO Constitution, which is peace and justice, human rights and dignity of people, gender equality, social progress, freedom, respect for diversity, and international solidarity. Well, that's what we need really now, we understand, to fight together for the COVID crisis. But how do we do this concretely? And with we, I mean myself and my team at UNESCO headquarters, but especially ASP.NET national coordinators and all of you, students, teachers, and your school communities across the world. We initiate and organize global arts contests, we celebrate international days, we develop, test and work with innovative educational materials, and we contribute to international campaigns. Next one, please. Also, we work together through global flagship projects. One of these is focused on climate change, and it was undertaken from 2016 to 2018, in which 258 schools in 25 countries participated in this project and transformed their schools' communities to become more sustainable. But let me once more show you a short video to give you a good idea of this fantastic work undertaken by students, teachers, and school communities in these 25 countries. Yes, can you please start the video?
All right.
In 2016, UNESCO launched a unique and ambitious pilot project, which encouraged schools to make climate change a priority in every part of school life.
This project is about really trying to transform an entire school, of mobilizing every single actor in a school, but also the community around it.
258 schools from 25 countries around the world decided to take action on climate change by engaging in this innovative project.
This project has helped us with raising awareness about the issues that we are facing today in this world.
Now our students became aware enough to tell their parents on the importance of recycling, on the importance of thinking environmentally before doing any action.
Les choses que l'on a le plus appréciées dans ce projet, mes camarades et moi, sont les activités en plein air, le fait de recycler des bouteilles, des pneus pour en faire un jardin suspendu et l'activité manuelle à travers la peinture qui pourra peut-être nous servir dans notre futur.
生徒同士が協力して少しでもゴミを減らそうとしている姿勢が見られたのがとても嬉しかったです。
This project helps us strengthen the bond between students and teachers.
People are motivated, people are educated, people are aware of the climate change.
Because it is a whole school approach, it involved everyone to participate in the project. So everyone has got a role, everyone is doing something, everyone is thinking, everyone is creating.
My school is becoming more eco-friendly every day.
Change begins with an individual, and as an individual, I believe that I should be empowered to protect the environment.
Y queremos que esto no solo se quede en lo que es nuestra comunidad, sino que también pueda trascender el municipio, la provincia y a nivel nacional y también de manera internacional.
There is an enormous wave of optimism that comes out of a project like this, because you see that schools in a very short time can be transformed so that they motivate and empower students to change their behavior and take action for the planet.
From my school, I hope that our program continues on and spreads around the world so people can actually know the importance of keeping the environment clean.
Well, thank you for watching this. This really captures the essence of what we're trying to do as like a whole school approach. For instance, this is about the climate change, but I'm sure that there's so many other projects that we could develop in a similar manner. But before finishing my presentation, well, this next slide that shows you that we would like to invite you now to take part in responding or like commenting on your idea through 2 surveys. You can participate. Please share. You first need to participate, but please also share these links to your friends and your parents and any people around you that you know at school, for instance. They can all participate, and your voice, each one of your voice will be heard by UNESCO, and that would help us come up with more stronger, sustainable projects. So we appreciate. One is called a survey about the world in 2030 in a context of a profound upheaval linked to the COVID-19 pandemic and the urgent need to rethink many plans of your societies. UNESCO, this survey is to gain a better understanding of the public's opinion on the major global challenges for the years to come and the solutions necessary. Them. The results of the survey will help us to define the global agenda on these issues. It is available in 19 languages, and here you can please see the link and share the link. And the second one is a survey. It's on our UNESCO's flagships initiatives. It says the futures of education. It is a global initiative to reimagine how knowledge and learning can shape the future of humanity and the planet. You can contribute to this global debate by answering a survey, but you could also send a text or an art piece. I'm sure that you could be some of you are very good at art piece to express your ideas and wishes. So please take a few minutes to respond to these surveys, and please circulate them, as I said, very widely. This would definitely help us and shape the future of UNESCO and education together. You're the bright minds out there whose inputs we need. We count on you. The last screen, please, to say thank you very much. from the ASP.NET team, and we look forward to collaborating with you much more strongly and more meaningfully together. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so very much, Julie. Thank you for the work that ASP.NET is doing. Thank you for the work that UNESCO is doing. Friends, we know that it is incredibly important that we take action in our local communities, but it's also, it's just as important that we're able to link the action that's taking place in our communities to the larger communities abroad and to those organizations like UNESCO that give us the opportunity to coordinate and to look beyond our borders and to work together as a planet towards creating a more sustainable future. So friends, we are now going to talk about our more sustainable future and the amazing work, Sarah, that is done by young people who are a part. Many of the schools in this project are already ASP.NET schools. We know that we have had, actually some of our schools have pushed their countries towards rejoining UNESCO in the work, and so that they can be ASP.NET schools as well. And we're going to hear from one of them today. But we are going to hear from many schools right now. And so Sarah has shared the order. Do you want to talk about?
So we have wonderful 12 schools. You know what, Terry? I sent out a call for people to participate, and we had 8 respondents. I was like, that's wonderful. And then last night I went to bed and 4 more schools slipped their slides into our presentation. Everyone's so excited to share about the amazing work and celebrate the amazing work that their students are doing, because you are. All of your schools are doing such wonderful local work that I want to share and celebrate. So I couldn't say no. So we have a nice lineup of 12 schools. We have the order in the chat, but also we will queue you up. So Taiwan is going first. And then Brazil. Now remember, we have your slides and we'll be sharing for you.
Yeah, and just we want to acknowledge the fact that we have other countries that are here with us today, but in particular the United States, Philippines, India, Russia, Morocco, and our most recent new friend to join us in the United Arab Emirates. And we have another 15 countries that are not able to join today because of the state of internet and some of the challenges their countries are facing in light of the COVID global crisis. And so I think without any further ado, Sarah, do we want to jump right into the presentations or do a quick hello first?
We could do a quick hello.
Okay, let's do exactly that. So we're going to say, go ahead.
What we could do is just have everyone sort of unmute for a second and do a cheer.
Oh, cheers are awesome. Let's do exactly that. Okay, if you're unmute ready, and I'm going to give you a countdown. It's going to be a 3, 2, 1, and then everyone's going to we're going to say decarbonize. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Decarbonize. Decarbonize.
It reminds me of Mary, who was with us in and she was cheering from the side, and got the whole crowd going, decarbonize, decolonize, decarbonize, decolonize. So there's this massive march going on in Spain being led by the decarbonized students, and the cheer being led by
Mary, someone gave her a little, what are those called, a microphone thing, a little bullhorn thing, and she was just, oh, it was
Betty wanted the world have it. Okay, awesome. So without any further ado, we are now going to go right across to our president, Taiwan, who will share first about their project. Taiwan, we will share your slides, but we'd love to see you first before we do that. Taiwan, over to you. All right, Taiwan. I know it's very late for our friends in Taiwan right now. But they are probably in the process of unmuting their microphone, making their way over so that they can share the work that they have done to mobilize their communities. And here they are. Hello, Taiwan.
Okay. We have unmuted. Can you hear us now?
We can. Go ahead.
Go. Start again.
Okay. Hello, everyone. We are students from Affiliated High School of Zhongxin University, and our school is located in Taichung, Taiwan. My name is Rita Huang.
My name is Winnie Ling. For many years, people have begun to fight climate change and learn to be environmentally friendly. But because of the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people's habits have changed.
Due to COVID-19 outbreak, many people start to wear disposable face masks. However, some people do not dispose of them properly. Some even throw the masks on the street. To solve this problem, Taiwan government legislated a law to prevent this from happening. If people are caught littering the face masks, they will be fined 6,000 NT dollars, which is $200. Furthermore, with the fear of getting coronavirus, people now prefer to buy the takeout food and then eat at home. This increased the amount of single-use plastic containers. There are also quarantine garbage problems.
People returning to Taiwan from other countries should be in quarantine for 14 days. And currently, there are about 60,000 people in quarantine. They cannot leave their home. Because of this, lots of delivery orders are needed, and this causes the use of plastic bags and single-use chopsticks to increase. Another example is that people ate in restaurants before, but now they buy takeout food due to their fear of being infected. The problem is that we still need to protect our environment. How can we improve such a situation? When we buy takeout food, we should bring our own reusable bags and tableware. Stores and shops can give a discount to those who bring their own tableware.
Though some people said that the outbreak of COVID-19 led to fewer human activities and many factories shutting down, and the air seems to be clearer than before. What they don't realize is the pandemic caused even more negative effects to our environment. Before the pandemic, Taiwan government has tried hard to raise Taiwanese awareness of decreasing plastic products. For instance, in 2019, restaurants start to get fined $40 to $200 if they provide single-use plastic straw to the customers. Therefore, people in Taiwan start to use the reusable straws like the metal straws. Furthermore, students in Taiwan also responded to decrease the use of disposable tablewares.
We human beings should strike a balance between our use of disposable products and protecting the environment. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Great, thank you so very much, Taiwan. Thank you for helping put that in perspective in terms of what is the action that you're doing and what is the action that's taking place in and around COVID. It's important that we continue to reimagine the work that we're doing in light of the challenges that we're facing.
This new reality.
And the new reality that's there. So great job, Taiwan. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's go on now to almost the other side of the planet, hopping across the Pacific Ocean and into the Southern Hemisphere with our friends in Brazil.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me well, or it's
loud and clear?
Okay, great. So I am Gabriela. Me and Manuela and all of the people from Brazil are from Colégio Magno, and I went to COP25 last year. So it's a pleasure to be here again, and it's so nice to see everybody again. And well, our school is associated with UNESCO, and us, the students, have been very involved in projects related to sustainability and decolonize. So one of our projects that it's a good one is like to plant native trees in a square next to our school, and these trees are from the Atlantic forest. So it is in order to restore the trees that have been deforested for a long time. So another important project that we have is to using solar panels and to provide 35% of the electric energy, as you can see in this image. And our goal is to, in the next 2 years, the internet connection is good, or?
We have you coming across perfectly.
Okay, great. Okay, so our goal is the next 2 years, like 100% of the energy of the school will be provided by the solar panels. And also something very innovative and very different is that we use what is called biodigesters. And it's I have never seen something before as we do in Magno, is that it based on the idea of converting the energy that comes from organic products, like the products that we eat in the school. And we convert this energy into a mix of methane gas and carbon dioxide, which is called biogas. This isn't on the last slide. If you could put just the last slide, we can show it. And we use this.
So this is what we'll have to tell us about it from here.
Okay, great. So this energy that we convert is used on to warm the water on the locker rooms. So it's very different. So I will pass to Manuela, a friend of mine from Magno. Thank you.
Hello. So can I begin? Are you guys listening to me? I guess. So additionally, Magno is a school that has students from a wide range of ages, some of them being toddlers, and taking up to 600 years actually to decompose. Disposable diapers are considered to be villains. And with this in mind, our school partnered with a company specialized in technology for waste disposal named Bomera. So it makes it possible to assist the bottom line to the recycling process of these diapers. Later, the plastic resin generated is transformed into pens, which were recently distributed at our school. And last but not least, another project that Magno has implemented is water reuse. So currently, almost 200,000 liters of reused water is used to clean the patios, so it is part of the school's irrigation system. The main project is to create a mini power plant with the purpose to extend the use of this water so it can run on toilets and sinks. I think that's it. Thank you so much for your attention.
That is it. That is amazing. Well done, Brazil. I just want to clarify to make sure I heard something correctly. Colombia, you're going to be on next. And after Colombia, we're going to jump over to Twitter and see some of the action happening there. But before we go to Colombia, Brazil, did you say that you were making pens out of diapers?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Probably Georgie, our teacher, had one of them. They gave it to him.
That's amazing. Okay, all right. So we're going to go across now to our friends in Colombia, who are going to continue to share their work. After this, we're going to go across to Twitter, and we will hear from some of our friends who are sharing their work there as well. Colombia, over to you.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Excellent. Hi. I'm Daniel Cantillo. I'm a student, but I'm the chief of delegation of Colombian here. So first of all, I would like to invite all my colleagues of the delegation of Colombia and Gimnasia Los Cabos to turn on their cameras so we all can see you first.
Yeah, we can only spotlight one at a time, and so
okay.
And then when they share, we'll see them as well. Keep going. Good job. You're doing great.
Okay. I'm going to pass the word to my colleague Sofia. So, Sofia, are you ready?
Hi. Good morning. Yeah, Sofia here. Well, this is my project, and well, starting off, It has been proven that climate change increases the number of natural disasters. So, to help the victims, I've designed a housing shelter named Igloo that reunites all the optimal conditions of comfort, privacy, and decency. Plus, it is made out of lightweight materials, has low cost, and its structure is completely buildable. This is its transportation and lowers the prices. For its environmental functions, wide energy sources and photovoltaic cells can be implemented. However, an igloo could also be a solution in this pandemic stage as a treatment room or as a shelter for homeless groups. Nonetheless, I hope that with this project we can all, well, families that have been affected can cherish wellness and thrive from the ashes, just like the Phoenix bird. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. I'm the next on my next project. So let me 1 minute. Okay. The next, thank you. Okay, in this case, this project is designed to convert the organic wastes into natural compost. In Colombia, there's a lot of problems related with the appropriate treatment of wastes. So the idea is to create and design trash can that will help the people in their houses to convert all the organic wastes into natural compost. So as you can see, the main idea is to put organic wastes inside of the machine, and it will convert it into natural compost. This is a natural process that is very easy to make. So the idea is to make this like a real trash can that you can have in your kitchen, and it's related to help people to use the natural compost in their houses or even to sell it. So thank you so much.
And we have one more project. Do we still have one more project from our friends in Colombia?
Yes, we do. Daniel, are you ready?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Excellent.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, hi, my name is Daniel Erasum. We are H Energy. Now, one of my colleagues, because this is a group of 4, will show you the first part.
So we know that in the recent years we have seen some climate changes between the contamination and related. Also, in some countries the oxygen is not getting so good and it's making the lungs have some problems. So we need, and the burning fuel has a 75% of the contamination in the world. So we need to do a change between burning fuels energy to renewable energy. So with this conflict and our project in our school, we create our idea, H Energy.
Okay, right here we can see our idea of energy. This energy, we do it with hydrogen. With this prototype that you can see with me, or in the photo there, we do here a process with the water. The water will be in the tubes will get here and they do a process of hydrolysis that will change, that will separate the atoms and will do here energy. And that exactly is how it works in my project.
Our principal objective is arrive to the 1,710 towns in our country that don't have electric energy. So we want to arrive there and create electric and energetic development in our country that come also human develop and more advances in our towns, now that people could do activities that we are doing right now.
Thank you for hearing us, and this will be all.
All right, well done, Colombia. Great job, guys. So we are, the next on the list, we have our friends in Peru. We're going to share some Twitter shots here. And we want to see the great tweets that people are sharing across the planet and retweeting and sending out. So thank you, Annapurna, for the work that you did. Barb's
Someone likes that Colombian shelter, it looks like. I mean, my Spanish isn't that great, so they could be talking about something else. Oh, and like us, a lovely.
Oh,
we
no.
would love for you to, for those of you who have Twitter, we know that Twitter isn't available in all countries, but for those of you that are online and on Twitter, retweet us, share us on Instagram, share us on wherever you are. We would.
And
yeah,
for sure, and we're going to be sharing out later on the survey handles that we had from our friends in from our friends at UNESCO, so we can share those and retweet those, and let's see how many people we can mobilize behind taking that survey as well. So let's continue now to our friends. We're going to Peru and then to Kenya. And so Peru, are you ready to share your work? Peru, over to you.
I'm sorry. I'm not from Peru, I'm from Turkey.
Okay, yes, but the next on the list is going to be our friends in Peru. So Peru is going to share next, and followed by, was I muted? Was I just muted the entire time that I was talking? No, okay, that's good. So Peru first, and then to our friends in Kenya. So Peru, are you ready to share?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, I have some slides. I don't know if you can show them.
Yes, we'll share your slides here in just a second.
Please. Okay, I'm gonna start. I'm Rosita Llanto. I'm from Huánuco, Peru, and this is Colegio de Ciencias School. Our main phrase is learn to learn because we know humans is learning every day. And so Huánuco is also called the city with the best climate around the world, and Peru is one of the countries with most biodiversity around the world. We made some projects in our course, in our school. So could you put the next slide, please?
Next slide. All right.
Okay. We found some environmental problems in our country. And despite the fact that Peru has a lot of natural wealth, people often only care about their own lives and are not aware of their surroundings, which is why environmental problems are currently affecting our society. Aside from climate change that destroys ecosystems, alters the lifestyle of many species, problems such as water and air pollution are becoming more frequently in our country. Water and air pollution mean that our main resources are being altered so that our lives are also in danger. We found those problems in our country, and also we are working with children and young people in our school. Could you put the next slide, please? Okay, as a project college, we have been working on various projects that allow students to develop the research and action skills. Among the projects are the virtual course on climate change. In addition, we have the mosquitoes project, where children learn to identify mosquitoes so they can prevent the spread of mosquito-borne disease. And we work the mosquitoes projects with children, and they can teach to their parents or friends. Likewise, we have a meteorological station, the only one in the region that monitors ultraviolet radiation. In addition, some individual projects such as home water filtration. As you can see in the image, there are trees, and we made one project about the trees, and when we work with young people, and they were in, I don't know, 11 years ago, we went to plant the trees, and after 11 11 years after we made and those trees were grown. And now we have some trees in our city.
Like it's their
So
browser
we have a
history
lot
and
of
they can
projects
hear
and
mom
we
running
also
up the
are
stairs.
working in more projects like this. I think that is all. Thank you for paying attention.
Well done. That's the wonderful part about trees, right? Is you can see them. This is an action plant, and you see them grow, and you see the changes you've made. Well done. Great job, Peru. So we're going to hear from our friends in Kenya. After Kenya, we're going to go to Ghana. It's going to be next. So Kenya, we are ready for you to share. Ready, Kenya? Over to you.
Thank you. My name is Sharon Musembi from Nairobi, Kenya, and I'm a student at St. Austin's Academy. My fellow colleagues are here today. We've worked over the years on different projects addressing climate change. As you'll see from our slides today, we will seek to describe some of our work and projects in pictures. Our school has worked in partnership with local institutions who share a vision, like UNESCO. We've also worked with the Ministry of Education in Kenya, the Center of Global Education, and an organization known as Taking IT Global. We have worked together using network technology and online classrooms and global video conferences to share our research, examine commonalities and differences, and identify future actions that are needed for mitigating effects of climate change. Finally, we have always sent a representative for deliberation and writing, adding our collective voices and thoughts to youth papers. You can watch all our work in the links that have been shared in the slides. But before we start, I'd like to pass the floor to my fellow colleague, Ian.
Our school has taken many initiatives to educate students and take action for a healthy climate future, or for the most part, trying to make a change. We have a chain of projects and clubs, such as the UNESCO Club at our school, led by our Miss Mary Kula. Apart from the projects on the slides, we also participated in the youth deliberation on energy futures, ocean heroes, and agri-youth. We've gone for various events as a school in order to show how much we care. In this picture, we were at a student climate protest where we went out and decided to learn about trees. I'd like to pass it on to Abdi Fatah.
As we all know, Africa is one of the richest continents in terms of natural resources. And when I specifically focus on my country, yes, we are least income country. But we do have a strength and weaknesses. Some global weaknesses, as you can see on the screen, can be poverty, weak health systems, lack of education, suboptimal global cooperation. But first, before I go to speaking of weaknesses, let me mention some strengths that we are doing in this country. The first strength in our country is that renewable energy potential. Kenya has promising potential for power generation from renewable resources. Abundant solar, hydro, wind, biomass, and geothermal resources led the government to seek the expansion of renewable energy generation to central and rural areas. Following a least cost approach, the government has prioritized the development of geothermal and wind energy plants as well as solar for rural electrification. The following issue is poverty. As we all know that poverty is not only in Kenya or Africa, poverty is a global issue. Although Kenya's economy enjoys the leading position in Eastern and Central Africa, 36% of its population lies below the international poverty line. This is because the government corruption and less economy, and also the water crisis. There's also a weak health system. Kenya healthcare system and many other African countries cannot meet the vast needs of sanitation in urban areas and lack affordable medication in rural communities further contribute to spread diseases, and children do not have access to even basic health care in African countries.
Now,
One reason
I'm sorry
is
to
a shortage of health.
This is a wonderful presentation, but we only have 25 minutes left, and we still have another 6 countries to present. Can we, rather than, and I know many of you have prepared lots of work around this, to just have each of our countries, can you get right to what is the project you have done and the work that you have done? And we'll have to skip over a little bit of our introductions because we won't have time to have everybody share all that they have created.
But
So
you can share it online. So as
yeah.
we were talking about earlier, because some presentations do tend to run longer than they think they are, record your group saying your presentation. We can open a Zoom room, or
Yeah.
you can do it on your own, just recording each other, and we will put them on the classroom for all of us to watch again.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So Kenya, can you tell us about some of the projects that you have done at your school? And then we're going to go across to Ghana. And again, for our other countries, it's wonderful to tell us all the things that are going on in your country. That's important. But we need to get right to our projects because we only have 25 minutes left. So Kenya, can you tell us about your projects really quickly because we need to go to the next country? All right. All right, so Kenya, I realize we may have messed up a little bit of your presentation order, and I apologize for that. But do we have anyone in Kenya who wants to share about their projects that they have been working on?
I can briefly give a few projects that we've done. Our
Yes.
school has a no unnecessary light policy with complete understanding from the students, which this initiative took place in this event that you see now, and over each slide it says turn off, because it also helps us achieve our goal of achieving connecting the whole country to the national grid by the year 2030. We present our learnings to our school and have constant reminders so that we don't forget to do, such as several tree planting activities, which also support our country in reaching a 10% forest cover in the next 5 years. Our school is strong in this field, and we strive to continue pushing for a clean energy future and supporting our nation in efforts. Thank you.
Good job, Kenya. Thank you so much. That was a great presentation and great work. So we're going to go across now to our friends in Ghana who are going to share their project. And remember, friends, we need to get right to our projects and focus on those in the last 24 minutes we have together. Ghana, over to you.
Okay, so we'll try to make this as brief as possible. Hello everyone, my name is Yasmin and I'm here with 2 of my other peers as well, Ali and Shika. We're from Al Rayyan in Accra, Ghana, and we're an IB school built up of 50 plus nationalities with basically the mission to inspire, empower, and transform for a better world. We'd like to thank everyone for taking time out of their day to be here today. And I will now pass on to Ali, who will be talking about what it's like to learn environmental studies in our school. Thank you very much.
Actually, Shika, I would like to pass it to Shika to start off the presentation.
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Shika. So in our school, we have a lot of environmental education integrated into our curriculum. So as you can see, we have year 1 students learning how to build terrariums and learning about the water cycle as well, and putting those 2 learnings together from a very young age, as well as year 13 students. So the education continues all the way through, and they're learning about composting, and they've also built a composting bin in our school. I will pass on to Ali as well.
Yes, and in our school, we also have many student leadership where we engage in various initiatives in regards to climate change. And there are also presentations, creative works such as poems, artworks, classworks, units that revolve around climate as well, that students are assigned to do on their own, which helps raise awareness on the issues going on around the world and also what they can do to change the world to a better place. Thank you.
Excellent. Great job, Ghana. All right, next on our list, we have our friends in Indonesia, followed by Bangladesh. So Indonesia, would you like to share the work that you are doing and share right to those projects that you have? Indonesia, over to you.
Okay. Test. Hello.
We can hear you.
Hello. Okay. Yes. Thank you. All right. So my name is Monka Carlo, and I'm here with Mr. Muhammad Reza. Today I'm gonna be presenting my concerns and the solutions to this issue. So carry on. Let's go. So these are the projects that we have done. So basically, in this project, in this picture, we trade. So we want to less plastic use. So we trade tote bags with plastic. So we go to a place that we go to a crowded place, and then we bring tote bags, and we search people who brings plastics, and we trade them with tote bags. So I think that, and then when we get the plastic, we try to recycle it. So I think that this is an effective project to decrease the waste of plastic. Yes. Okay. Next slide. So I'm here to express my concerns. So here is it that in Indonesia there are many things that is against the environment. So for example, like illegal logging, littering, the overuse of vehicle, and of course mainly flood. So we want to change these things, and we want to tackle these things, and because we think that this kind of issue is destroying our life, is destroying the earth itself, if it even it destroys the country itself. So yeah, next slide please. Yes. So I think that because of these things is because it's human made. It means that we have to go through the mindset. The mindset is the center of this thing. We need to change their mindset. People litter, people throw trash in the river and throw trash that isn't supposed to be. It means that it causes much environment threats, which is concerns all of us. So is that though? So it comes to the mindset. People need to care more about the environment. Right now, people don't care about the environment. Most people don't care about the environment. We need them to think that environments are important for all of us. People of Earth, but they don't care about taking care of it. They don't know how to take care of it. So that we have to teach them. We have to teach them how to take care of this earth. We have to teach them how to tackle climate change. We have to teach them to take care of our environment. And then after we done those kinds of things, we do action. We make them do what they are supposed to do. So yes, I think that's my yes.
Thanks,
Carlo, you did so well. I can tell you compressed what you were going to share into a small space, and you did it in English well, which is even more amazing. Well, let's hear from our friends now in Bangladesh. Hello, Bangladesh. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. So I am Prashna Paramita, and I'm a student of Vikrant School and College from Dhaka, Bangladesh. So today I'm here to express my concerns about the situations of my country that's currently going on. So let me start with a recent incident. Just 2 weeks back, the Southeast Asians have faced a very big natural disaster, the super cyclone Amphan. So this tropical cyclone hit the coastal areas of Bangladesh, being the largest cyclone that the South Asians have faced in the last few decades. It caused a huge damage. So thousands of homes were either destroyed or damaged due to the cyclones, and 12 people in Bangladesh met their death. So now can we get the next slide, please? Now, the sole reason behind the comparatively lesser death toll in Bangladesh is Sundarbans, the largest mangrove forest in the world. So as we know, almost 60% of Sundarbans is in Bangladesh, which has saved us largely from all sorts of natural disasters that came from the Bay of Bengal. The western part of Sundarbans faced massive damages due to Amphan, but it saved hundreds of lives in the low-lying coastal areas of Bangladesh, like the districts like Khulna and Satkhira. But which is a matter of great sorrow is that Sundarban is not the same like right before. Now it has dwindled into about 1/3 of the original size because of the huge climatic changes and the activities of human beings. Like it's gradually losing its strength. And as we can see in the animation below, we are just cutting down trees and forests and digging our own graves. And this is high time we take actions to save our forests. And can we go to the next slide? Okay, so on the other hand, we know that the whole world has been facing a critical situation for the past few months because of the coronavirus pandemic, and it already took the lives of about 400,000 people over the whole world, which is really unbelievable how we were losing to a tiny virus that we can't even see. But the reality is that we were not immune enough to fight it. And here, what we have to keep in mind is that climate change has reduced our capability of combating the COVID-19 situation. Living in a polluted world like ours and the country now I am living in Bangladesh, we have a lot of air pollution, like all sorts of pollution. We practically, a lot of people already had the respiratory diseases due to the air pollution, and which has absolutely accelerated their deaths. And we would not to have to face such a situation, such a death toll, if we were a bit more aware and immune, what I think. Now, focusing on the local and regional impacts, the students of our school have tried to raise awareness. As you can see in the pictures, we made posters, rallies, human chains. We talked about the problems with the students, the effects, and we try to aware the people around us. And our teachers spontaneously supported from all. Now, due to the coronavirus pandemic, while we have lost our socioeconomic momentum, nature have started to get its pace back. So looking forward, what we have to make sure is that through our actions, that we use all our resources moderately, and we can coexist with our nature without harming each other. And we don't face any more Amphan's, which is very, very dangerous in the low-lying countries like Bangladesh. So I just say that let us act now. Let us be aware. We have only one earth, and let's save it. Thank you.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Let's go on now to our friends in Turkey. And after Turkey, we have Trinidad and then Canada. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the project and hear from the Canadian, a national representative as well. So Turkey, over to you. Remember, get right to that project and right to you.
Okay, so can you guys hear me?
Yes, very clearly. Coming across.
This year, me and my friends have prepared some brochures and boards about the environment. And also, the sophomores of our school has cleaned the whole school and the streets around our school. And also, we are against the sound pollution too, so we don't have a bath in our school. And also, we don't use bins in our school too. We do only have recycle bins. So also this year we worked on informing the Burdur Lake, but I would like to let my other friends whose name is Elif Naz to speak. So can she speak? The rest?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely. To her. Is she?
Hello.
There we go. We hear.
I'm here.
Go ahead.
Can I start?
Please do.
Please do.
Okay. Hello, my name is Edif Naz. This year, me and my friends worked to inform people about Burdur Lake because if no, sorry, can we next? Thank you. Because if no precautions are taken, Burdur Lake may dry up. We also prepared brochures and made speech to explain the Burdur Lake. We hope that we will work on Beypazarı next year because we want Beypazarı to be included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. Thank you.
Well
Wonderful.
done. Good job, guys. I love how we have some action that's taking place in the schools and looking beyond schools as well. Now, we're not actually going to, Australia created a video, but because of time, all online, and so you have an opportunity to hear from it there. So we're going to go across now to our friends in Trinidad, followed by Canada, and then we're going to just to get us inspired talking about next steps after today's launch. So Trinidad, Port of Spain, Queen's Royal College, over to you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Joshua Pegas, and I am from Trinidad and Tobago, and I attend Queen's Royal College. Happy World Environment Day, everyone. So, in our first slide, our school has been working with the UNESCO Sandwatch Group and have been focusing on monitoring our coasts and teaching and bringing awareness on its importance to our country and climate change. Mr. Andy Paul, a UNESCO Sandwatch representative, visited our school and engaged in an interactive session about Sandwatch and how to use the digital microscope. We have entered national competitions focused on Sandwatch and monitoring our coasts and engaged in regular beach cleanup and activities. So, on to the next slide. Right, so this is our at-home planting, so I'll just bring this across. At this time, during quarantine, many students throughout the school are engaged in planting and creating kitchen gardens with a vast variety of crops. As students, we enjoy the opportunity to experience planting at home and watching the stages as each crop grows. Students have also been creating large compost heaps. So as you can see in front of us, this is a oil keg that was cut in half. So we reused it to plant in it, and we have different crops here. And we also use normal water bottles, and we would cut them in half, and we would use wood shavings, and after we would add them to our kitchen garden, and we would send the bottles to be recycled. So during this time, we continue to gauge our focus on the importance of adopting the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle in our everyday lives. Right, and in our third slide, at Queen's Royal College, we focus on creating environmental activists and have set aside an area for a school pond. Here we see in this slide, we see students of the Environmental Club engaging in the annual pond clean up and rearing of marine life. Even though it can be a lot of work, we really enjoy taking care of the pond and watching as the fishes grow bigger and bigger. Our school pond is showcased to many visiting schools. The pond represents biodiversity and is used by students and teachers for laboratory experiments for our Caribbean examinations. To end, I just want to say that the white paper has been shared to the Secretary General for the National Commission for UNESCO, the President of the UNESCO Schools, and the Environment Officer in the Tobago House of Assembly. It was also shared to the former head of ASP.NET, who works in the Kuripa Foundation, a group that is involved in the environment. Mr. Kumar Singh from the Ministry of Planning has also promised to visit the college to do a workshop on climate change. We also have the opportunity to have another climate emergency walk around the Queen's Park Savannah during our school's annual One Lap event.
Excellent.
Thank you,
Trinidad.
That, I really love hearing too what they've done with the COP25 white paper, because these aren't just static documents that we make and then never go back to. These are things that you can take and say, we have written this, the youth of the world have written this. What are you how do you respond?
And we understand the complexity. Like we have looked at policies and we have wrestled with our partners all across the planet. And we're going to talk a little bit about that format again here in a second after we hear from our friends in Canada. Canada, would you like to finish the presentation? And then we will go on from there. Canada, over to you.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Rianne from Queen Elizabeth High School in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So I'm on Treaty 6 land, and I hope everyone is staying safe during the pandemic and is finding ways to stay happy and positive while at home. So my school, we have lots of projects that went on while we were actually physically attending. There was a new innovative recycling and compost program I had started up, and other students had grow towers and aquaponics. But now that we're at home, we have to find ways to stay environmentally friendly from our homes. One thing I've been doing is working on my garden and getting educated on local plants and my local environment. And gardening has been such a great way to get outside and enjoy the sun while giving back to nature. And this at-home gardening has led my teacher, a few students, and I to embark on a new project. This project is called Grow Alberta. It was started by 3 schools in the province, and we want to get people to go outside, start planting flowers, not only to add some positivity while we're all locked up, but to create a beneficial impact on the environment. Gardening from home is it brings awareness to food production as you get some good plants and vegetables out of it. So basically, our project is students are contacting garden houses for seeds, grocery stores for paper bags, and other like compost companies for like worms and soil. And then we package them up into little seed kits and send them out to families in the community. The province and the project so far have reached out to over 3,000 families and groups with these kits, and the team I'm working on from Edmonton has handed out around 1,400 kits. It seems super simple, but it has had a huge positive impact on the mental health of the kids that we give out kits to, and it's helping out the environment. It's been a nice project to work on while we're at home, and it's helped so many people embark on an environmentally sustainable journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rianne, for sharing.
Well done. I love the fact that, again, we have some schools that have worked with their governments. We have some schools that have worked at their school, and we have some schools who've reached out and worked with their entire communities. So well done, Queen Elizabeth High School, and well done, Canada. Now let's talk about where do we go from here? You've done amazing work in the past. We want to continue this amazing work moving forward. Sarah, what do we do next?
Well, as of today, the COP26 classroom is launched, and the link will come up in a little bit here. But this year, we're focusing on action. So the focus of UNFCCC this year is action, and the focus of our project will be on action as well. So how do we promote it? What are we doing? How do we champion it? How do we support each other in this? And what does climate justice look like under the umbrella of action? So how do we incorporate still those elements of decolonization and climate justice as we talk about our action projects and as we work towards climate changes within our school communities and our local communities? So the first up, open right now, is our Art for Change. And as our UNESCO speaker Julie was saying, art is such a powerful way of sharing your ideas and thoughts on any subject, including climate change. And so we will be running our Decarbonize Art gallery again this year. Art for Climate is the hashtag, and the link is the same and is available in the classroom. Don't worry, you guys will get lots of emails about all of this. Next up is, here's some examples from last year. We have our wonderful shared from Bangladesh and Nigeria and America. Just some examples of some of the art that came in last year. All right, things to look forward to this year. We're doing videos online. We're doing case studies. We're doing our blogs again. We're making pic collages. We're problem solving. We're running interviews. We're doing video conferencing. And you're doing that through your north-south pairs, through their continental pairs, and then in our global events. And we're so excited. But do you have ideas? Do you have ideas on what you would like to see from your peers around the world? Are you interested in sharing podcasts? Are you interested in doing a global wiki? Let us know, and we will help facilitate these things to happen. It's just not about what we'd like to see, but how do you want to share your knowledge and really invest in this project this year? All right, here is the link. Now you will all get the link through your teachers as well, but if you're very eager, you can type this down quickly. We'll pop it in the chat. I'll pop it online on our, we'll put it in Instagram, we'll put it on Twitter. And if you want to get started and register today, here's the code and here's the link. Now teachers, I populated you in, so you should automatically have access.
Brilliant.
And that is everything from me.
That's what we need to do. That's it. So friends, we are very excited to have joining us here today from the Climate Change Office in Canada. Stephen is going to be sharing the work that as a youth who works within the government and who is making change in his country and making change, making connections to communities all across Canada. And we're going to pass the microphone over now to hear from Stephen and what he is doing and what the Canadian government is doing to reach out to youth in order to make a difference. So Stephen, over to you.
Hey everybody, I don't know how I'm going to follow up your presentations. A, they were a lot better than mine. I don't have any slides. And B, it was fantastic to hear all the work you're doing. So I'm speaking to you from Toronto, Ontario, which is the biggest city in Canada and on the unceded territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people. So happy World Environment Day to wherever you are in the world. And usually World Environment Day is a day to take action and to further mitigate climate change and protect nature, which is still the case this year. But I also encourage you to think about and talk about with your parents, teachers, mentors, about why millions of people are marching in the United States and around the world to end racism and what you can do to make a difference. Because I don't think the problem is isolated specifically in the United States itself. And it emanates throughout the world in vastly different forms. So I encourage you to always have this conversation and call it out where it exists. These are certainly extraordinary times because it's not just the current predicament in the United States, but we're separated from family, friends, and our communities because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And it is my hope that the connection to our communities has become, and the importance of that connection has become more evident. And when we return to the new normal that we're going to end up in, that our connection to each other, but more importantly, nature, will be increasingly cherished. So when it comes to climate change, the community that has to address it is a global one. It can't just, although you and me are going to make important differences, every country throughout the world needs to take steps to lower their climate emissions and further mitigate climate change. So climate change is an issue that will define our generation, which is probably a line you've heard before, but this time it's not, we need to make change for our children's children's children. It's we need to make change now for our children and even for us in many ways. So climate change does not care about borders. It does not care about which world leaders believe in it or not. And it does not care where droughts or floods or other catastrophic weather events occur. Everyone across the planet is going to be impacted, and I'm sure many of you have, be impacted by major storms, flooding, and other phenomena that we couldn't even have imagined 30 or 40 years ago. Everybody will feel the effects. As I said, this is a global fight. And today you have made meaningful steps to ensure that global fight is motivated by young people. Within climate action and climate discussions, youth voices are imperative. And it is all too often we, because I'm a youth as well, I'm not too much older than some of you, we are not brought to the decision-making table. Youth have voices that are innovative, as we saw today. We bring new perspectives to the table. We bring ambitious perspectives to the table. And most importantly, we bring a diverse set of perspectives to the table. There's no such thing as the youth voice. Instead, there are millions of youth voices across the world, including all of you, who need to be heard. I'm lucky to work at Environment and Climate Change Canada because together our small team of young people, so we're all about 24, 25, have made major differences in how the government of Canada engages youth on climate change. But there's still plenty of work to do. When I think about myself, I graduated from university just a couple of years ago. And my main goal in university was climate action, climate action, climate action. I worked in politics on it, and I I certainly enjoyed my time, but it's important, although it's important to protest and take action on that front, it is also important to do what you are doing now and take meaningful steps towards that climate action. And as Sarah was saying earlier, action, action, action. So the reasons for me, climate is important. It's not only because it's going to impact me and my children, but I'm also a distance runner. And if the air is too hot or if the air is too polluted, how am I going to go out and run my 5K right this morning like I did? It's not feasible. So it's not only going to impact the food we have, the food security, rising water levels, but it's also going to impact our everyday lives in ways we couldn't even imagine. Meaningful youth engagement ensures youth of all backgrounds, including Indigenous youth, youth facing barriers, youth of visible minorities, youth who speak different languages, that all those youth, just like we had today, can bring their perspectives and voices to the table. Not everything we recommend will be included in, when your white paper was presented to COP, not everything, fortunately, although it would be awesome if it was, will be included by world leaders in treaties or policy. But having youth at the table and providing that input is still vital to any process. When you do receive the opportunity to provide your feedback and your voices in climate and environmental discussion, you're all very informed. So use those informed thoughts and make succinct points that will force decision makers to listen to you. That's the way to do it. And then if your points are not included, and this is the most important part, make sure you follow up with those people who you pitched your ideas to and ask why or why not they were included. It's the closing of the loop that's going to force people to continue to meaningfully engage youth and you and me moving forward. So that way, you can force them to also justify their actions. Most importantly, as I said, I think it's most important that you stay informed, read the news, talk with your friends and family, and ensure that you do, as you're doing, these small things that make environmental changes. Planting a garden, riding to school instead of having your parents drive you. A variety of factors that can tangibly reduce emissions right now. So to talk the talk on climate change, you have to walk the walk. So together we can all make a difference. And thank you, Terry and Sarah, for having me. This is great.
Well, thank you so very much, Stephen, and for sharing on the fact that there are governments that want to work with us. We have young people across the planet have shared how they have reached out to their governments and how their governments have reached back and engaged them in the process. You are doing incredible work. And you understand many of the aspects of climate change that your communities and that our planet is facing. And so we need to continue to move forward. We need to continue to share. We need to continue to research. We need to continue to understand. And we need to continue to move forward. Again, I want to say thank you to all the schools that joined us today. I know that we had a number of schools that were here that didn't get a chance to share. Nigeria, United States, Philippines, India, Russia, Morocco, United Arab Emirates. We also need to remember that we have another 15 countries who weren't even able to sign on. It's very important as we work towards climate justice that we always look around and say, okay, who isn't here right now? What are the voices we haven't heard from? And how can we make sure that all the voices, all the diversity that is our planet is there and is able to be a part of that solution? So Sarah, I think we're ready to sign off.
We are. What a busy day. I wish we had another hour.
Absolutely. And thank you to students. Make sure you say a huge thank you to your teachers who made this happen. Thank you to our friends at UNESCO who've helped bring the planet together and continue to move forward as their whole school projects that they're working on. And we will be sending a link to the survey that they shared earlier.
The link to the classroom. This is just the start of our project this year.
That's
this is
right.
Our welcome, our big World Environment Day launch.
Yay!
And we look forward to hearing from you, for seeing your artwork, watching your videos, everything that's gonna come this fall, this summer.
Brilliant. Have a wonderful day. Thank you everybody for joining us. Good night, good morning, good afternoon.
Good night. so much, Terry, Sarah.
Thank you very
Good night.
much.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you everyone for
Thank you. Bye.
Good morning, good evening.
Okay, bye-bye.
See
See
you.
you again.